In the far reaches of the Arctic, where temperatures can plunge well below -40 degrees and the ground is permanently frozen for most of the year, survival depends on, well, ingenuity and adaptation. Standard cooking methods, stoves, open fires, or even insulated boxes, often fail in frozen soils that won't burn, won't insulate, and just refuse to hold heat. Yet historical accounts from polar explorers, military Arctic units, and indigenous communities reveal a forgotten method, a specialized cooking pit designed to work in frozen ground. This technique, largely lost to modern memory, allowed people to prepare food reliably in conditions where conventional methods would have left them hungry or, frankly, frozen. Why frozen soils demand an entirely different cooking approach? Frozen soil is more than just cold dirt. Its compact, icy structure conducts heat away from whatever you put on it, sapping energy from stoves or open flames. Digging into it with conventional tools is exhausting, and traditional pits collapse when temperatures rise even slightly. Explorers during the early 20th century noted that attempts to cook in standard trenches or depressions often resulted in food that was, well, scorched on the outside while remaining frozen in the middle. The Arctic cooking pit was not just a hole in the ground. It was actually a carefully engineered thermal system designed to hold heat, shield food from wind, and prevent heat loss into the frozen earth. Construction began by marking out a shallow depression, often no deeper than a foot, in a place sheltered from the wind. To protect the food from direct contact with the frozen ground, a layer of insulating materials such as stones, moss, or even branches was laid on the bottom. Fire-resistant stones were preferred as they could absorb and radiate heat without cracking. A central cavity for the fuel source, typically wood, coal or peat, was then dug into the insulation layer, creating a hot core. Food containers, often metal pots or wrapped game, were positioned above this core on a raised platform made of stones or driftwood. Once the fuel was ignited, the heat, radiated through the insulating layers and cooked the food slowly, maintaining warmth even after the fire had died down. The genius of this pit lies in its layered approach to heat retention. Frozen soils act as a heat sink, drawing warmth away instantly. By isolating the fire from the frozen ground with insulating layers and raising the food above the heat source, the pit created a controlled cooking environment. Heat radiated upward and sideways, cooking evenly without burning. In effect, it functioned like an ancient slow cooker, adapted to extreme climates. Explorers' journals describe stews and baked goods that remarkably remained warm for hours in sub-zero temperatures, a remarkable feat when even metal stoves struggled to perform. Efficiency was, absolutely paramount, because fuel was limited and the conditions were just so harsh. Folks would often preheat stones over a larger fire before constructing the pit, so that the core could reach cooking temperatures much faster. And, food was wrapped in leaves, cloth, or even animal hides to trap steam and prevent it from drying out. Pits were sometimes covered with snow walls or windbreaks to prevent heat loss and shield the cooking process from those fierce blizzards. Importantly, careful attention was paid to the oxygen supply. Fires in enclosed pits could smoulder rather than burn too intensely, which helped conserve fuel and maintain a steady temperature, without creating excessive smoke or risking the fire being snuffed out. For survivalists or Arctic explorers today, these principles remain, well, highly applicable. You should start by identifying a sheltered location, somewhere snow and wind won't interfere. Then use insulating layers between the ground and your fuel, like stones, branches, or even high-density foam if you find yourself in a pinch. Build a hot core for concentrated heat and elevate your cooking containers above this core. Covering the pit with a reflective surface or windbreak will conserve heat and protect food from frost. This method works not only for cooking, but for keeping water from freezing, warming small shelters, or slow cooking meals when fuel is scarce. The Arctic cooking pit represents more than just a method for preparing food. It's a testament to human adaptability, a clever solution born from necessity, and a forgotten chapter in extreme survival history. Polar explorers, military units operating in northern climates, and indigenous peoples all developed variations of this pit independently, showing that practical knowledge can converge across cultures in response to the environment. Modern outdoor enthusiasts can benefit from these lessons by understanding how insulation, layered heat, and thoughtful design allow food and warmth to coexist, even in the harshest conditions. If this exploration into the lost Arctic cooking pit sparked your curiosity and offered new insights into historical survival, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Share this video with fellow history enthusiasts and survivalists so these techniques, nearly lost to time, can continue to inform and inspire those who venture into extreme climates today.